Greetings, welcome to video 2 in our attempt to distinguish fake and real news. What you're looking at now is the actual spreadsheet that we created as a result of video 1, where we read fake and real news into Docuscope. Docuscope tagged it all, and then we exported frequencies and asked Docuscope to save all the frequencies in a file. So you can see here are the Docuscope cluster categories in the columns, and beneath it are frequencies for each of the columns. And there are about 25 of them. And then the grouping function tells us whether it's fake news or whether it's the Reuters news. And there should be about 900 of these guys, right? Because 900 of these guys, because we have 450 of each. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close this. For the time being, we're going to now open up Minitab. And Minitab is here, Minitab 18. Okay, and you can't see all of it right now. I'll try to adjust the adjust it so that you can see most of what's going on. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to open up in the file, open Minitab. We are going to have to find where those other files are, where you kept the spreadsheet. Okay, in our case, or I should say in my case, they happen to be in, well, let's see, if you go down further, desktop, that's what I was looking for, and then here's where I kept them, and here's where I kept them, and here's where I kept them, and here's where I kept them. So it's cluster, so you have to go far, and then we're going to read this in. Okay. So now we've read all this into the Minitab program. Now we're going to run a tool called under stats. We're going to go and we're going to run multivariate analysis, discriminant analysis. We're going to tell it our grouping columns are C27 because that's the column that tells it whether it's fake or real news group. And then we're going to get predictors. And we're going to just use all our predictors for this thing, all the cluster predictors. And we're going to see how well they do in combination. We're going to actually use cross-validation, which is a way of getting unbiased data. And we are going to then run it. And linear discriminant analysis, again, is looking for a mathematical formula, a linear formula that would put all the fake news on one side of the line, all the real news on the other. If it can do that, then whatever the mathematical formula and combination of all the variables we have, that becomes a recipe for separating fake versus real news. So let's hit OK and see what we get. What we get is, I think, very impressive, because the summary of classification is that the program put, here are the fake news articles, the 450, and of 450 fake news articles, the discriminant line that was created by the discriminant function classified 408 of them as fake, and only 17 of them as real. Okay. On the other hand, for the Reuters stories, okay, it classified 433 of the 450 as real news, okay, and only 42 as fake news, okay. So the total in both is 450. Another way of looking at this is that in looking at fake news, the computer was, in distinguishing fake news, the computer was over 90% correct in declaring something fake. But it was even more accurate, 96% accurate in declaring something Reuters. Okay, so that is really fantastic and serves the purposes of prediction very well. What discriminant analysis allows you to do is to save this function and then to apply it to new stories, new news stories that we've never seen before. And if the news stories are in the same sample of the stories we've analyzed between Reuters and Scopes Fake News, then it should be about 96% accurate in finding real news and 90% accurate in finding fake news. And that's sort of interesting, which simply means that it's the machine we built is a better spotter. I mean, it's pretty good in both directions, over 90%, but it's actually a better spotter of real news. And if you give it fake news, it's going to get a little bit more confused, just 90%. But still, both are very, very good. So I'm going to stop here, start a new video, but let you just think about that and have you think about that classification summary and study it and see if it makes sense to you. And if it does not, please ask us questions.